Hi everyone. Today I'm going to walk you through a few tips and tricks on how to utilize Ivy for e-design, especially in today's environment. So what I want to do is first start off with product sourcing. I assume that you'll probably be utilizing the Ivy Clipper in order to create a shopping list for your clients that you are doing e-design for. So I want to show you a couple tips and tricks that you can utilize. So first and foremost, of course, I'm in Google Chrome and I have my Ivy Clipper extension downloaded. So to utilize the Clipper, I can either click here or just click on the image and the Ivy Clipper button on that image. And what this will do, because I'm on house.com, for select websites, will actually scrape the data from the website and automatically pre-populate the Clipper with relevant fields and information. So my first recommendation is if you are going to be sending your client a shopping list, the easiest thing that you can do here is copy the URL from the website itself. And especially if this is an affiliate link, take the URL and go ahead and add it in the client description. And you can choose whether to override what's in the client description or just make the description the link itself. But I recommend putting that link at the top of the client description. And what's going to happen is that when you add this item to a document, it will automatically create a clickable link that your client can use as a shopping list on any PDF that you create. So whether that is a PDF of your proposal or invoice, an FF&E schedule, or a tear sheet, this link in the client description will be clickable. Additionally, let's go ahead and add a couple of closer images. I can keep the product title the same if I want to. If you have a markup, you can always add it here. But again, one of the different recommendations that I have is actually involved in adding additional details. So when I scroll down over here, I'll see the tags section. Now, one of my recommendations is you definitely want to distinguish this item that is meant for e-design from any other items that you are going to use to resale products going forward in future projects. The reason being, of course, when you're reselling a product, you're not going to want to expose the link to the item. You're going to want to make sure that you have the markup in place and so on and so forth. So utilizing the tags and adding e-design as a tag will help you create an e-design catalog within your product library of products that are set up specifically for e-design. So that's definitely my top recommendation is first and foremost, add the link to the client description and add a tag of e-design. So I can go ahead and save this. Of course, as you know, you can save this directly to a project and a room within that project if you have one in mind. And I'm going to save it. And now what will happen is this item will appear within my Ivy product library. And when I'm specifically looking for e-design, I'm able to see all of the different items that I've tagged as e-design, including the item that we just clipped. And you'll see over here, the URL is directly in the client description. Now let's go ahead and go into the project, and I'll show you a couple of additional things that you can do. So I'm personally going to start with a room board. The room board will allow you to add items and ideate and send a visual representation of the room to your client. So here I have the piece that we just added. And I can add additional items, especially the ones that are e-design friendly, like this one, I believe, including anything from my product library that I see fit. Okay. And once I do that, I can go ahead and create a visual representation to my client. So I can always send this to my client via email, and it will be a digital version with the item pricing, the quantity, and the ability to approve or decline items. But more specifically, if I'm simply sending this to my client as a shopping list, I can always click View Tear Sheets from directly within the room boards. And what this will allow me to do is it will allow me to select the items I wish to create tear sheets for, show pricing or not, and create branded tear sheets that are branded to my company with links that are clickable within the body of the description. So this is something that you can easily download as a PDF and email to your client. So you'll see right over here the clickable link. I could just click on it and go back to the website that I found it. Additionally, if you wish to actually create an FF&E schedule, what you can easily do is take the items from this room board and go into your project tracker. So the project tracker is the heartbeat of your project. It shows you all of the different products and services that exist within your project, no matter their stage or life cycle, and it will allow you to create an FF&E schedule. Historically, FF&E schedules have been a vendor-facing document, but for the purposes of a shopping list, especially if you're being transparent about the vendors, the cost, and so on and so forth, it will meet your needs exactly. So you can simply select the items you wish to create a shopping list for, like these 4 items that I just added to my room board. Click on the top right corner and click FF&E schedule. What you'll notice over here is that in downloading this PDF, you have a couple of default options selected. By default, the manufacturer's SKU and purchase order are hidden. You could always choose to show that if you need to. You can include pricing if you think it's necessary to do so, and any additional details that you want. Just keep in mind that this is a historically vendor-facing document, so vendor-facing information will show by default. So when I click download as PDF, this will allow me to download the document just as we did before. So this is a professional shopping list for your client. What you could see over here is the ability for the client to click on the item once again and go back to the vendor's website where you found the item for them to buy themselves. Okay? So those are 2 things. The last thing that I want to show you is how to make sure that you are billing for your e-design services. One of the best things that you can do is simply create an invoice. This is specifically for hours worked or packages sold rather than for the purchase and selling of products. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my project into the Invoices tab and click Create New Invoice. Now, my recommendation is to keep it simple. What you're going to want to do is add a service, and we have a couple of default services in Ivy, including a designer fee service, which by default will appear with a $1 cost. It's good to keep this kind of service as a generic service that you can tailor on any document or project, simply because it will allow you for cleaner reporting down the line to understand where your profit is coming from as it pertains to your design fee. So in this case, I can call this, for example, e-design package. And what you'll notice is that internally, we'll keep the name as designer fee on our side and on any corresponding vendor-facing side, but to the client, they will simply see this as e-design package. Additionally, I can specify what this is actually for. So I can call this space plan, shopping list, floor plan, and color consultation. Whoops. I can upload a cute image if I have one, an icon, for example, maybe my company logo, and I can add the cost. In this case, I'm assuming that this is a flat rate project, so I'm just going to add a flat cost right over here. And if you need to, you can always define this as taxable if it's taxable in your state. If services are taxable in your state, you can go ahead and do so over here. And of course, if this is assigned to a specific room, like the master bedroom, that will just help you organize it even further. I can add the document tag here so it's easy for me to identify at a glance. So I can call this e-design package, add a default memo over here, and even request a deposit. So once I save it, I can send this directly to my client via email. Once again, of course, you can always choose to export that as a PDF if you prefer. But the beauty of the digital invoice is that your client simply needs to access it from a link in their email. And then they can go ahead and pay you if you have enabled the payment options by bank transfer or credit card. And it's a really professional presentation. Your client has the ability to log in directly to their bank to initiate a transfer at 1.2%, or credit card, which has a 3% processing fee, and which they can simply enter in their credit payment details. So with that, we hope that you take advantage of these amazing functionalities and little tips and tricks to help you streamline your e-design and virtual design process going forward.